Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into some recent developments in one of the most widely followed dividend-focused ETFs on the market, the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, also known by its ticker symbol SCHD. Whether you're a seasoned investor, a beginner looking for opportunities, or just someone who likes keeping an eye on what the big players are doing in the market, this breakdown is going to give you a clear picture of what's happening, who's moving money, and what it could mean for the ETF going forward. We'll cover institutional moves, recent price performance, and some interesting trends that might be flying under the radar. This video is for informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research or consult a professional before making any investment decisions. Let's start with some big institutional activity. According to the latest filings with the SEC, EverSource Wealth Advisors LLC increased its stake in SCHD during the third quarter by a notable 16.7%. That's a significant adjustment. To put it into numbers, EverSource now holds a total of 156,667 shares, which means they added 22,416 new shares over the quarter. When we look at the value of that investment, it comes to just over $4.27 million at the end of the reporting period. Now, EverSource isn't the only fund making moves. Several other hedge funds and investment firms have also been adjusting their positions in SCHD recently, which shows a broader interest in this dividend ETF. For example, Biltmore Family Office LLC made a really bold move, increasing its holdings by an incredible 116.4% in the same period. While the actual number of shares is smaller, 974 shares in total, they purchased an additional 524 shares during the quarter. That brings the total value of their stake to about $27,000. Independence Bank of Kentucky also joined the scene, acquiring a brand new stake in SCHD during the third quarter. Their investment is modest at $41,000, but it's important to note that new entrants often indicate a growing confidence in the ETF's future performance. Another interesting player is True Wealth Design LLC. They boosted their existing holdings by 42.9% over the same period. Now owning 1,500 shares, this firm purchased an additional 450 shares, bringing their total investment value to around $41,000. These incremental but steady purchases suggest a consistent belief in the long-term strategy of SCHD. Total Investment Management, Inc. also made an entry in the second quarter, investing $43,000 in SCHD. This firm appears to be adding new positions gradually, which can be interpreted as a long-term commitment rather than short-term speculation. Finally, Morton Family Wealth LLC increased its stake by 41.2% during the third quarter. Now holding 1,635 shares after acquiring 477 additional shares, their investment is valued at about $45,000. Taken together, all these movements point to a pattern. SCHD continues to attract attention from both established and newer investors, with multiple firms showing confidence in its dividend strategy. So, what exactly makes SCHD so appealing? For those who may not be familiar, the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF is designed to track a dividend-focused index of high-quality U.S. companies. The ETF emphasizes companies with a strong history of paying dividends, solid fundamentals, and a track record of financial stability. Investors love SCHD for a few reasons. First, it provides exposure to established dividend-paying companies without the need to pick individual stocks. Second, it has a relatively low expense ratio, which means investors get more of their returns without paying high fees. And third, it has historically demonstrated steady performance, even during periods of market volatility, making it an attractive option for income-focused investors. Now let's look at SCHD from a market performance perspective. Shares of SCHD recently opened at $31.64. That puts the ETF in the upper range of its 52-week trading window, which spans from a low of $23.87 to a high of $31.88. Clearly, the ETF has been performing well, trending upward over the past year. SCHD currently has a market capitalization of $83.22 billion. That's massive for an ETF and indicates a strong investor base and broad market confidence. Its price-to-earnings ratio stands at 14.57, which is quite reasonable and suggests that relative to earnings, the ETF is fairly valued. In terms of volatility, SCHD has a beta of 0.77, indicating that it's less volatile than the overall market. a feature many dividend investors find attractive because it provides stability alongside income. Looking at moving averages, the 50-day moving average is around $29.35, and the 200-day moving average is approximately $28. Both of these averages are below the current price, which signals a positive upward trend. Investors often interpret this as a sign of momentum and confidence in future performance. It's also worth considering SCHD within the context of the broader dividend ETF landscape. Compared to some of its peers, SCHD stands out for its combination of high-quality holdings and relatively low fees. Other dividend-focused ETFs may offer similar yields, but SCHD's balance of stability, liquidity, and consistent dividend payments has made it a favorite among both retail and institutional investors. The recent institutional activity we discussed earlier is part of a larger narrative. Hedge funds, family offices, and banks are actively positioning themselves to benefit from the consistent dividends and potential capital appreciation that SCHD provides. This suggests that while the ETF may not be the flashiest investment, it remains a reliable choice for those seeking steady income and moderate growth. So, what can we take away from all this? First, significant players like EverSource Wealth Advisors LLC, Biltmore Family Office LLC, and Morton Family Wealth LLC are all showing confidence in SCHD through both increased stakes and new positions. Second, the ETF's strong price performance, reasonable PE ratio, and low beta make it attractive to a wide range of investors. Third, the focus on dividend-paying companies ensures that income-focused investors continue to see value, even if broader markets experience volatility. Finally, the combination of steady institutional interest and consistent performance suggests that SCHD is likely to remain a key player in the dividend ETF space. For investors looking for a balance of income, stability, and moderate growth, this ETF provides a compelling case for consideration. To wrap things up, here's the big picture. Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, or SCHD, continues to attract significant attention from institutional investors. Firms are increasing their holdings, entering new positions, and demonstrating a strong belief in the ETF's long-term strategy. At the same time, SCHD's market metrics, like a current price near its 52-week high, a market cap exceeding $83 billion, and a beta lower than the market, highlight both its stability and growth potential. Whether you're just starting out in investing or are a seasoned pro, understanding these institutional moves and the underlying strength of SCHD can give you an edge. Dividend-focused ETFs like SCHD can provide both steady income and potential capital appreciation, making them a versatile tool for any portfolio. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any updates. See you in the next video.